Hey guys, welcome back to the layout. So I have not done a video in a little while. I'm kind of making some progress. I wanted to show you guys what's going on. So obviously, as I mentioned before, money's been kind of tight with figuring things out for the layout. So I've been kind of going step by step, and step by step was first step after the locomotives and track and everything was to kind of get the buildings and go buildings to scenery. I'm slowly getting there. I just ordered the Sunrise feed mill from, I think it's Walters. I was able to find a really good deal on eBay. The plan is to have that go here. So that will be my next kit build. In the meantime, I was able to get some sidings from Rick's. This was originally going to be for my engine facility, but because I found that other engine facility on eBay, I was able to put these walls to use. So I'm trying to plan out the putting together of the walls. So I plan on having 3 sides of this modeled. So you have the one back here, the one on the side, and then the one in the front. And then everything else will be open on this side. So we'll have a roof on top of it, but the plan is to actually detail a cross dock of maybe recycled paper coming out of the box cars and maybe pipe or something like that. And I plan on, after that, putting in another building over here it'll be next to it. It'll be like more of like a feed building. Sorry for my hand getting in the way here. Moving down here, this is going to be an abandoned station, and then obviously the propane facility. So the propane facility, I just actually did some work on this week. I put a thicker styrene in for the tank bottoms and for the rail cars here for the unloaders. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. You can see here for the risers. So before, when I painted it, the styrene warped because it wasn't thick enough. So I just added in this thicker styrene. I think it's like 0.40, maybe a little thicker. I'm not exactly sure on it, so don't quote me on it. But anyway, we're getting progress there. So I plan on painting them this week, and then very light weathering because these are going to be pretty new within the last 5 years is what I plan on modeling. Stepping over here, nothing much. Did get the sidewalks in a little while ago. So I took some older cars I had from my layout with my parents, and I brought it over here. So you can see I got this pickup, the little dog in it, another car, planning on weathering up. We have our kind of crappy house. This is gonna be like the neighbor that's got the old toilet out front and stuff. I'm sure as anybody who's a rail fan before, we've all seen it. No matter where you are in the country, there's at least one house along the train tracks that's just decrepit, running down. So I plan on having this side of the street kind of being the more rundown side, and then these 2 houses over here are going to be the more nicer sides. So these guys either have a bush, like a bush wall that goes along here and kind of define their property, and then this is going to just be like disgusting. I plan on doing like a lot of mini prints, maybe a bathtub in the front lawn or something, maybe some people on the porch. And then over here will be like the real nice houses with some fences and stuff like that. We're getting over here. Obviously, you guys have seen the G38 before. I am still kind of hanging on to him, I think, for right now. I did put up the 2 SW1500s I have for sale to kind of pay for some of the stuff on the layout. So if you guys would like, let me know. I can attach my eBay page. Pretty cool. They're both SW1500s, ex-Conrail patch outs for the GATX. Heavily weathered, heavily modified, so they look pretty cool. It's a fictional unit, but I think it'll look pretty awesome. So I'm still using this guy. I plan on kind of rotating in and out on the 92-day inspections, so I will show you the B23-7 in a second, but we're going to keep moving along here. So the eventual plan, again, this will be a farm field up here. I brought the tractor and the little manure spreader over here. I got to clean up the both the tractor and the manure spreader just to make it look a little bit more realistic now. So the idea is this will be a field here with some cows kind of defined along here, and then this will kind of for us be forest and kind of some view blocks over here for the car storage and staging for the yard. So what happened last time you guys saw in the video, I went to run the 2 locomotives and I had some problems, and it was all coming down to a switch that was causing me nothing but headaches. So what I decided to do was I decided to cut out the switch here, and I bought 2 new switches and track. Obviously that cost money. That was like an extra, I think, 130 bucks. But I relayed this whole section from the crossing back, and I have not had a single issue with it yet. It's been great. So did I need to relay everything? Not really, but I just decided I had the track. I was like, let me just go at it, and we'll make it better, because I had some issues before with spacing and everything, because I didn't know what I really wanted to put where. So now we're making sure everything fits, and it's been flawless ever since. Another thing I worked on, I brought a tie pile I made, old buildings, kind of as a mock-in for right now, and I'm working on a Finger Lakes maintenance away truck. So the nice thing having the GATX locomotives is, you know, you could always say Finger Lakes is leasing it or something while the other engines are down. So I decided to just make a little maintenance away truck, and it's going along with the next project I had, which was a maintenance away flat car. So it's an old trailer train flat car from like the 50s. I weathered it up really good, added the FGLK markings for the number and the maintenance away stuff on top, some weeds growing through it. So the idea in this section is that this car can be moved from, say, behind here in the engine shop. If we need room to park the Jeep 38, we put it onto the yard tracks over here, or maybe a foreman down the road on the maintenance away area. Say he's working, we're not working the propane industry, but we got to work it for maintenance away purposes. You would take it, put the car down here, maybe in the runaround track, one of the sidings, whatever. So the idea is that we can kind of have a different variation than just taking box cars here and there all the time, or tank cars or whatever. I also made a pipe load for my gondolas and my bulkhead flats. So these are just some plastic straws. I kind of screwed up though. Didn't account for the thickness of the supports on the outside. So this one I just kind of knocked the supports off of. And I'll kind of put some bundling or wrapping around them as well. But I want to test them, see how they work. And then lastly, after that is the B23-7. You guys can see I just slide the doors open here. It's pretty cool. I am just gonna bring it outside so you guys can see. It is totally done. No problems, perfect, amazing, looked just like what I wanted. The only thing I did add to it was I cut the windows out so you can see the cab is totally empty, which is kind of cool because with the remote control box on the front, kind of just adds an extra level to it. So I did mess up though, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I was able to learn Lock Programmer pretty good, so I figured out how to re-download the sound file and all that stuff because I could not get this thing figured out. Had a massive problem with it when I was trying to rear it with the sound. So I'll start up in a second, but just let me go around the detail for you. So you can see, first off, we have the patched out Conrail. Added the fire extinguisher labels, all the reflective striping all the way around. We got some brooms on either end of the unit, as well as wheel chocks. And again, the conductors stick, so it's just basically for setting handbrakes, releasing handbrakes, all the dangerous stuff that they would do. The RC box in the front, the Finger Lakes decal, all the correct decaling for that, the weathering itself, and everything else works. So let me go ahead and fire it up for you guys. Sorry for the shakiness here. Here, come on. We were able to get the step light, the ground lights back on too for it. F0 is going to be the front and the rear headlight. So just because if I'm going to really be using it as a single engine anyway. And then the other thing we added was the front ditch lights here. And you can see when we hit the horn, those flash. And then F6 is the rear ditch lights. Same thing. So pretty awesome. The bell is the same as a typical GE, and we have the Conrail horn. A little more to the Finger Lakes than Conrail, but I think it's the job done. So pretty awesome. Today I plan on getting the concrete painted and kind of weathered maybe, and starting the long process. Let me show you over here of getting these walls cut and sized up for the next thing. So I have to figure out how many more kits I have to buy for this. Pretty nice. Rick sells the walls separate, so I'll probably buy 2 more packs. I think they're $16 for 2, so not bad. 30 something, probably 40 with shipping for 2 walls, and then I have to do just a lot of scratch building and figuring that out. So all right guys, that's gonna be the layout update for, I guess we're gonna say August 2025. I'll probably do one next month. Hopefully can really get cranking away at this, and we'll get some more buildings up. So all right, stay tuned guys. Thanks for watching.